Hello everyone, that Manga Kid here to give a series review of Godchild. This is by Kaori Yuki. It's a bit of an older shoujo beat title. Now this is I believe, technically third installment of the Earl Cain saga, which I have not read the previous installments of. I've been told it is much easier to understand and get a fuller picture of the story if you read the previous two. I think it's just 2 volumes, it's a single volume and then a second single volume, and then this 8-volume series follows those 2 volumes. But those 2 volumes I've not read. I found these used for very cheap. I think I paid $25 or $30 or something for this whole series, and they're in very good condition, so I wasn't going to go out and buy the other 2 volumes new or whatever when I hadn't even, I had no prior interest in this series, really. I just saw the kind of really gothic art. I know Kaori Yuki is a mangaka I'm really interested in. I just find her art style really interesting. I know she writes pretty gruesome, more gothic and horror kind of styles. And I love kind of horror shoujo stuff, so I was interested and I read these 8 volumes. If I find the other 2 used one day, I'll pick them up, but honestly, I'm not itching to go and get them. But just be aware of that if you are going to go pick this up and you're kind of a completist or you want to have a fuller picture of the story, get the prequels or the earlier installments of this story. But anyway, our main character is Cain. He is an earl, young 17-year-old. He is the heir to this giant kind of fortune mansion estate situation. So he's quite high up in society. This is a European, kind of British sort of setting, I believe. And he has a servant named Riff, who is, on a couple of the covers, might even be on the back. Yep, there he is. Riff, who is, I think, a couple years older than him, but they're both kind of teenage, early adulthood age. And then he has a little sister named Merryweather, who's about 10 years old. So basically, Cain kind of finds himself constantly surrounded by murder. And so this is a bit of a detective sort of story of this just rich kid who finds himself getting into trouble a lot in terms of just people are either out to get him or the people around him. And, there's this mysterious organization that may or may not be, that his father and older half-brother may or may not be involved in. And so there's family drama, but it's creepy and murderous family drama, not just he abandoned me, right? So it's very interesting. The art is really, really cool, which is why I was super interested, because I really enjoy Kaori Yuki's art. Lots of, like I said, pretty gruesome panels and stuff, but there's a lot of really black outline sort of situations, and really creepy kind of facial expressions. And if you like gothic styled sort of things, this is really cool, and I am super glad I got it. And it wasn't something that I ever would have purchased new or been I gotta go find that. But when it popped up in my area on the used market, I was well, 8 volumes, $30. It's in good condition. I'll go grab it, and I'm really glad I did. I had a good time with it, and I think that Kaori Yuki, like I said, is somebody that I've been interested in. I think the only thing I've read by Kaori Yuki is a short story in the I don't know if it was the Neo-Parasite F or M, the anthology, 2 volumes of anthology stories from various mangaka set in the Parasite universe. Kaori Yuki has a short story in one of those anthologies. I just don't remember which one. And I remember enjoying it quite thoroughly. Her art's amazing. Her depiction of graphic scenes is so cool. And these covers, as you can see, are quite stunning. And so, especially this one, this hair, and it's very cool. And like I said, I clearly don't have a fuller picture of this, but honestly, I'm all for young, seemingly gay. This, I believe, was listed as a shonen ai, because there's clearly some more than friends, more than just a servant sort of feelings between Riff and Kane. And, unraveling the mystery of the family drama and figuring everything out. Like, it was interesting, and it, had some twists and turns in it, and it had a bit of a chapter to chapter or like section situation where like each section is a new kind of murder mystery or crime that happened. And I love that kind of stuff. I love detective stories, and this was very cool. So I don't have too much to say on it, honestly, but I mean, if any of this sounds interesting to you, I do recommend picking up Godchild. Yeah, it was fun. It was cool. It was dark and creepy and bloody and interesting. And it has the undertones of gayness, which I also enjoy and appreciate. So, yeah, I think that's all I got to say. If you have any recommendations of Kaori Yuki series that you'd like to leave in the comments, I'd appreciate it. If you have anything similar that maybe isn't by Kaori Yuki, but similar to this kind of vibe that you'd like to share as well for either myself or other folks who are perusing the comments, and please do, because I think that, kind of horror or much darker shoujo series are not often talked about, and they're not often, first of all, not often published in North America, but they're not often talked about. I think that, like, there's a few more gothic series that have gotten popular in the past, but I don't know. I just think that this is a interesting section of shoujo that I wish we would really get more of. I will say, though, this does very much feel like of its time. It has that, I don't really know how to explain it, like early mid 2000-ish sort of, I don't even know when this was written, honestly, but like it doesn't feel like it was written recently sort of thing, and not just because it's set in the past in Europe, but let me see when this was published. 2001. Yeah, 2001. It definitely feels like I said, early to mid 2000s, just in terms of, like, I don't know, the vibe. If you read enough manga or watch enough anime, like, you just get that vibe of something having been written a while ago. Not necessarily a bad thing. It's just an interesting thing. Yeah. Anyway, I think that's it. Thanks for watching.